Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Guile here, and welcome back to another Supreme Commander Epic. It's custom 6v6 Pro Joe action this afternoon to celebrate my return. Celebrate / lament the fact that we've had an extended leave of absence. Sorry for that. I know you've all been very patient, save one or two of you who've been abusing me in the comments of previous videos. Joke, you've all been lovely. Yes, I know. I have been off the scene for a while. It's very difficult this time of year. I've got 3 kids that all have birthdays. I've got 4 kids, but the other one's in the autumn. Anyway, I also have to go away and make merry, pretend that camping is fun in the UK, which it patently isn't. Anyway, that's all behind me now. I can get on with the real entertainment, which is, of course, your entertainment, shiny, massive metal monster mayhem that we have here in the guise of Forged Alliance Forever. This will be Team 1 up here at the top left. This will be Team 2 down here at the bottom right. Going first for Team 1, not so much rearguard air position, but up at the top left-hand corner, is going first there, so maybe we could assign him that role. Anyway, it's Wednesday, my dudes. He is going Aeon in baby blue. Team member number 2 to his southwest. Another Aeon, this time in Spetsnaz green. It's Scenarium. He has gone first land. Team member number 3 to the south further still. Our first Cybrin of the day, bless him, it's Mythologist. He is going first land in Ferrari red. Team member number 4 in Halib orange, right at the bottom for this team. It's Antonio Magretti. And I apologise in advance to any Italians for butchering the gorgeous accent. I actually got props the other day on Discord. Well, I'm not sure if it was props. It was people enjoyed the humorous outcome of my recent attempts at a French accent, so we'll leave it at that. But I doubt I'm getting any such praise from any Italians. There he is anyway, Antonio Magretti. He is going first land, going UEF. And then on the top side of things over here in lime green, we have Failer, another UEF going first and second land. And last but not least for Team 1, having already left his base, but sporting this season's fabulous Vivacious Violet, going land all day, and our only Seraphim of the day. It's Ross Boys 3. I wonder what he did with the first 2. Anyway, so that is Team 1. And it's comprised of 2 UEF, 2 Aeon, a Cybrin, and a Seraphim. All races represented. How very pluralistic, even the evil alien. And now let's check out Team 2. Down here at the bottom right-hand corner, in Dijon yellow to begin with, going Cybrin, it's LCR. He is going west to conquer that little area in the bottom left-hand corner, presumably. Team member number 2 in fecal brown, bless him, going first land, also going Cybrin. It's not me, quite literally. He is making his way up in a similar direction, as are most of the ACUs by the looks of things. Team member number 3 over here going UEF in combat green, going first land. It is Dominic DeCoco. Look at that, he pushed right out and then plonked down an air factory all the way out there. Interesting decision. Team member number 4, the winner of this week's Amusing Name Award, it's Count Swagula. He is going Aeon and opening first land, second air, presumably. Not sure which one went down first, but it doesn't really matter ultimately. And then in burgundy red, team member number 5, we have Deathlock, another UEF. And he went first land and is going second air by the looks of things. And then last but not least, over here we have Insidious Noob, another Cybrin, this time in mellow yellow, opening first land and going land all day by the looks of things. So there we have it, 3 Cybrin, 2 UEF and an Aeon for Team 2. Game quality at 93%. People to watch out for today, Insidious Noob basically crushing everybody in the rankings. A 1900 for Team 2, which is pretty sizable. Next highest rated players are Failer and Scenarium at 1600 on Team 1. There is Failer and Scenarium just behind him over here. And bottom rated players today, well, we've got a couple of 1100s kicking around. 4, in fact, Ross Boys and Magretti on Team 1. So Ross Boys and Magretti on Team 1 over there. And then Count Swagula over here for Team 2 alongside... Oh, interesting. Oh, yeah, there it is, Deathlock. I was like, I can't see the other one. It was right there, Guile. So the burgundy red right there. So those are the potential weak links in the chain. But this is an interesting development. We haven't had a chance to talk much about the map. Excuse me, but we have some interesting strategic developments already. The way the map is outlined, you would imagine This would be the natural bifurcation point, this being no man's land in the center, just because that's the narrow choke point. I suppose you could make an argument that you've got here as well, but it just feels like more of a north-south divide. But Team 1 are not going to let Team 2 just have this bottom left-hand corner. No, we had an aerial incursion over here, decent amount of build capacity dropped onto the scene by Mythologist, and then we've got Mythologist Com and Antonio Magretti moving down here personally to fortify the area. So it's a lot of firepower being moved southwards from Team 1, whereas going northwards so far all we have is Count Swagula's Com. No assistance, no drops over the top, nada. So Team 1 looking a little bit more aggressive at the opening phase of this one. Little upgrade, cheeky upgrade on the way for Dominic DeCoco. What has the map generator generated for us in its infinite wisdom? That is the mass poop situation. A liberal smattering all around this area with a big old void right in the center. That's not atypical. We're usually used to seeing cliffs and plateaus house most of the reclaim. So as such, they do tend to act as magnets to engineers as they roam about looking for Master Scoopy Scooperson. But speaking of magnets, look at these rear installments by Team 1, drawing Labs and Mantis from Team 2 to their position, going straight for a Hydro over here and a Mex. Engineers making a run for it, trying to get out of the area before they get gunned down. It looks like Insidious Noob has discovered them, so he says no thank you, we will root out your infection. T2 upgrade on the way for Deathlock. So in terms of ACU pressure, we've got 4 of the 6 ACUs from Team 2. Sorry, 5, scratch that. LCR right at the bottom as well. So they are all moving in unison up to this kind of position. So far, defending this area right now, we've got Magretti's ACU, Mythologist's ACU over here, and now we've just been joined by Wednesday, who is heading steadily southwards. Compare that with what's going on in the top right. Well, there's a lot less action going on down there, or up there I should say. Count Swagula getting himself an upgrade, 60% done there for the speed upgrade, the rate of fire on his gun, and it's just upgrade city right now. LCR going for gun, we've got Deathlock going for T2, another gun for Mythologist on Team 1, and then back over to Team 2, we've got a speed and range upgrade on a gun for It's Not Me. I swear to God, that's just there to annoy casters. There's absolutely no reason to name yourself that whatsoever, so thank you for that. What's happening over on the air game? I hear the occasional bomb going off. There is a T1 bomber lurking down here. It's got 2 kills to its name. Just looking for the odd T1 unit he can take out. Finds some Mantis down there. Manages to bag a couple. Now up to 4 kills. What's happening on the eco side of things? 281 to 261 in favor of Team 2 at the moment, who is faring slightly better despite potentially being on slightly less territory. Although, having said that, Failer has yet to expand all the way out here and take all of these mass points. He has got an engineer working on just that particular set of objectives, but it's going to take him a while. And now Failer and Count Swagula getting into it in the top right hand corner, albeit just a little passing frenzy as they open up on one another and then stroll back out of range. Nothing developing there. T2 upgrade now on the way for Magretti. That's his first upgrade. Insidious Noob wastes no time going straight for stealth, having completed his gun upgrade, and that's progressing pretty darn nicely. He's just about necked negative mass, but he's balancing pretty well actually between his power and mass production, as you would expect, a 1900 to do. It's going to be crucial for Team 1 that they try and neutralize him ASAP, if at all possible. They do not want to be facing him in the end game, ideally. Mythologist now on the warpath, looking to press against Deathlock. Deathlock, who's been in the process of setting up a couple of land factories here, has one operational T2 land factory, no less. So somewhere he's got an HQ, presumably back at his main base. Would love to hold on to this if at all possible, and Mythologist would love to destroy this as a pillar rolls straight out of the production line and opens up on the com. But Mythologist looks critically short on support, so he's going to have to back up to this area at the very least. Oh no, it's not me, coming in from the northeast, and he's upgraded his gun, so it's a little extra firepower. Is this going to be joined up with an attack from Deathblock? No. He went for T2 engineering suite, so he's going to throw down a triad. And speaking of triads, we've got a real point defense creep going on here from Dominic. He went for the T2 engineering suite on his comm and is just creeping his way in this direction, potentially severing the comms down here in the bottom left from their main bases. They're going to have to be very alert to that threat. This whole area may well be untenable for them. What's happening over here in the east? Count Swagula looks like he might have bitten off more than he could chew. He's run into a wall of pillars and he's into the red here. He has got support, but they haven't got enough firepower to kill off these units. I think it's going to be our first ejection from the game. There he goes. 10 minutes and 50 seconds and Team 2 go down a man. Admittedly, it is one of their 1100, so if they had to lose anybody, it would have been one of those. I'm just sad I don't get to say Count Swagula more. That really is a beautiful name. Mythologist also losing infrastructure over in the west. Meanwhile, point defense creep continuing. Stopping for a moment to throw down some tactical missile defense as we've got some Vipers on the scene for Mythologist. But two-pronged attack now from Team 2. Oh, and some Corsairs coming in against Magretti. Make that a three-pronged attack when you add in the air to the equation. Magretti, after that flyby, down to 9,100 hit points. Mythologist now drawing fire. He goes into the yellow, down to 7,800. We have got some defending interceptors in the area from Magretti, and only a couple have got a T1, or sorry, a T2 shield gen unupgraded for Mythologist. Mythologist looking very peaky indeed, down to 5,600 hit points, and there goes the shield gen as well. Oh, this is an ugly, ugly situation for Team 1, who are going to have to find a way to extract their comms, I think. Point defense creep continues over here. Viper mobile missile launchers doing their very best to hit back, as well as this badly damaged Cerberus turret. But that goes down thanks to mobile missile launchers from the southeast, or rather, oh yeah, there they are. I was like, there are only hoplites there, but the Vipers were sat further back. There goes the T2 land factory, and Mythologist looking very badly damaged indeed, down below 2,000 hit points. Another shield gen started. No, that's Oblivion point defense going up. This gives them some protection. There is a shield gen now queued up behind that. Mythologist has got stealth, but he really does just need to keep on the move at the moment and try and avoid any inbound potential fire. Dominic's point defense creep showing no signs of letting up as he starts work on the next one that does get properly taken out. There's a decent amount of counter battery fire here. 3 operational T2 PDs with another bank of 4 going up in front of them. What's the situation now over here on the right hand side? We'll look at this breakthrough from Thaler and Ross boys after the destruction of Count Swagula up here. They've just continued to press into that power vacuum, and would you know it, It's Not Me had to take a transport back to try and shut this attack down. I think he might be successful. We're looking at 4 or 5 pillars left with some flak. More than enough firepower and a comm to take care of that. We have another little group, a little trio over here. But I don't think this is going to cause any serious damage, and Ross Boys doesn't want to overcommit himself here. He is going to back up to safer territory, but still that might have taken some of the pressure off the front line over here. Wow, Mythologist still looking very badly damaged though. I suppose a little healthier than when we last saw him. 3,500 hit points left on him, but I wish he would keep his big pointy backside inside the shield gen. This is giving me anxiety. Wednesday, my dude, has had enough of this entire game in the bottom left-hand corner. He's brought in a T2 transport to evac his comm. Sensible idea, even more sensible idea, might have been to transfer the control of that over to his teammate. In fact, he had brought one in for his teammate. It's right there, and control has been transferred over. But at the moment, Mythologist doesn't seem interested in evac as Corsairs come in and he's outside the shield. What are you doing? No excuse for that exit. Team 2, you left the shield, he says in chat. Team 2 will be very relieved at that. It is now a level game, up to a 5v5, and all signs are, with 2 comms now leaving the area, Regret is going to have to evac. He's got himself another transport as well. This must have all been Wednesday who pumped out these transports and distributed them. But Mythologist was just like, yeah, I don't need your stinking transport. Oh, wait. Well, what he really needed was to stay inside that shield gen. Not that it lasted very long, but still, it would have kept him alive, potentially long enough to get in that darn transport. But no, he was making a statement, I guess, down there in that bottom left-hand corner, and it didn't fare too well for him. So, what's the situation now over in the east? Again, a renewed assault underway from Failer. However, he's coming up against some brick pressure. A couple of bricks lurking for Insidious Noob, massively outpacing their opponents in terms of firepower. Little fire base going up, and is this the start of a normalization of the front line going through the center, left to right, exactly where I thought it would? Quite possibly. I like that we've got the 2 edge plateaus in the center. One has gone to Team 1 and the other's gone to Team 2. Although we do have a saucy little distance build up the edge here from Ross Boys. Not currently producing anything out of it though. But yes, this, if Insidious Noob gets some T2 build capacity up here, they could definitely make life for this forward fire base difficult if you set one up of your own up here. Some artillery and the like. But I don't know if they're going to get the chance. Wednesday has set his sight on the area, gets one of his famous alumnars in, equipped with a Percy. These labs tickling away at a vastly superior entity. No rate of fire, very slow, while to deal with all of those labs. Assault still continuing now, despite the number of bricks more than doubling. Doesn't want to hang in the arc of fire from these point defense though, that's for sure. Nice little forward tac missile battery under shield coverage over there. What does that put in range for those bases? Well, an awful lot is the answer to that, but we do have tactical missile defense that suggests that it's been spotted maybe, although that's quite far to the south. Oh yeah, we've got another one over here, look. So, more than aware of the potential threats. Team 2 acting accordingly, or reacting accordingly. But look at this. Complete control, more or less restored to the bottom left-hand corner. These flapjacks could actually put some pressure on some of these installations up here. Team 1 also deciding not to erect a firebase up here. I think this is a strategic error. Definitely worth trying to control this point here. That gives you excellent coverage on this whole region. Nice place to put down tons of anti-air. Nice place to pop down artillery. But of course, resources and expenditure are tight at this phase of the game. We are still sub 20 minutes. We'll have another look at the eco situation in just a moment. Thought that tac missile might get something done, but it gets shot out of the air instead. Have we got any kills for this Aloha yet? Oh, we've actually got 4 kills, so it hit something. Probably a mass point with some mass storage. Now, I did say we'd look at the eco situation. Team 2 on 752, Team 1 on 705. In terms of total mass accrued, Team 1 actually ahead, though, ever so slightly by about 4k. And Reclaim, they're up by about 1k. Values set to change, though, I'm sure, now that we are sitting on different proportions of territory. Will come down to who ecos up faster and harder. That's what she said. moving swiftly on from that. What's going on internally in these main bases? Very much at that eco phase. Get your T3 up and running, boys. Some nice land production, mass fab templates. Spaces left over here in the power grid, potentially leaving room for mass T3 air. And speaking of mass T3 air, that's already underway for It's Not Me over in the bottom right hand corner. It's actually got a nice number of ASFs. It's Not Me looking like he might be the dominant player in the skies at the current time. 22 ASFs in play for him. And as yet, he looks like the only person who's taking air particularly seriously for Team 2. And correct me if I'm wrong, I'm seeing 0 ASFs. That might be the first ASF for Team 1. So scenario going to be had. Yeah, that and the other 14 over there, Guile. Good job. How many of you were in the process of writing an abusive comment down there? I'll let you finish it. You go ahead. It's fine. Continue with that. And while you're down there, smash the old like button. Because the more people that smash likes, the better I get at noticing stuff. Allegedly. No one's liked any of my things previously. So, base wars materializing in both areas. Slightly more even Stevens in the west. The more aggressive location over in the east tells the story of the opening phase of this game. With the lack of pressure that Team 2 applied northwards. That is a rather frightening formation of defensive infrastructure. We've got 1, 2, 3 Seraphim T2 artillery pieces. The odd tac missile in there, tons of point defense, couple of shield gens. That's a nasty little base that Team 2 would love to deal with. Now, I'm not sure if this was a drop or a saucy little run by. Both are possible. Could have hugged the cliffs over here. Could have had one of Wednesday's many alumnars. As here, there's alumnar just over there. Quite possible that those were dropped in. Would have been the most efficient, quickest way of doing it. They are pushing south nonetheless, taking out all the mass points as they go. Oh, and these weren't far off being completed. See upgrades pause there as they know they're going down. Why waste resources on upgrading something you're not going to get to keep? Good fighting team, says Wednesday, my dudes. And just the name itself sounds like somebody who would be chilled and encouraging, doesn't it? Someone about the middle of the week being happy instead of only saving that kind of energy for the weekend. That's someone who's got their priorities in order in my book. Nice little piece of ordnance there, taking out a factory and some defensive emplacements. What have we got going on here? Some lab play in behind enemy lines, massacring build capacity. How did that get there? Was that a drop in this area? Or was it snuck in around the headland? Didn't get much further than that, but took out a lot of engineers nonetheless, and also finished off a few T1 anti-air turrets by the looks of things. Now, what have we got here? T3 upgrade for Ross boys. And a RAS upgrade also for Baylor. 67% done, 7% done there, 65% for Ross boys. Lumnars returning over here. Maybe they were all bringing in labs. We just caught the end of that little play. That Percival we saw airdropped to the cliff ages ago, wiped out basically everything. It's got 25 kills. Just needs to come to the cliff edge. You could get a couple more. Go. What's the story? Morning Glory. It's 1.2k apiece. In terms of mass killed, Team 1 comfortably ahead, being much more combat effective. 97k versus 78k. And kill loss ratio tells a similar story. It's almost 0.96 or 1.96 versus 0.68 in favor of Team 1. That's huge. Team 2 need to sort it out. Coin a phrase. Big attack underway from Failer. Solid T3. Lots of Percival's committed to this, but there's also lots of bricks lying in wait. We've also got shielded defensive positions that they are running into. That is not going to succeed, and that's quite a lot of mass that's just been donated by Failer, who, true to his name, despite being one of the top-rated players on his team, has the lowest kill-loss ratio at the moment on his entire team at 0.43. Is that the lowest of the game? No, LCR on 0.32 for Team 2. Yet more lab play. This is some high-level trolling from Wednesday. Last long. They are an irritation nonetheless. Cooking accident with Tabasco sauce when you're wearing only your pants on a hot day. Bricks bouncing into one another down here. Scenarium versus LCR, 2v1 situation. Insidious noob facing down a brick all by his lonesome. It's an overcharge to hand, that's what he needs. Antonio Mugretti completes a RAS. And now we have officially entered the experimental phase. And it's a megalith down on the bottom right hand corner for It's Not Me, but I also saw another one completed simultaneously, and I have absolutely no idea who it was. Another one on Team 2? Ah, it was. So a double whammy of experimentals out from Team 2. Now this is going to be interesting. Perfect combination for an attack on a forward fire base when you've got the first two experimentals. A Monkey Lord for punching power to get there first. A Fat Boy to back up with artillery from behind. Soften up the shield on the way. Has he got the Fat Boy close enough, though, to perform that task for the Monkey Lord? The Monkey Lord did stop for a while, and it's been donated. Very magnanimous over to Insidious Noob's control to join with the bricks. This might just stand a chance of wiping out this whole position, which will be interesting because that then puts the entirety of the top right quadrant in play. And so far, the only progress that's been made anywhere has been that southward pressure from Team 1 down here, threatening these mass points, which Team 2 still haven't fully recovered. However, LCL with a nice little patrol route over there of bricks, but the shields are down. Monkey Lord has been taken to half health. Even if they take that down, they're not going to be able to secure this position against the Fat Boy with all the bricks moving in too. That fire base is well and truly cooked, and I think the Monkey Lord's going to survive this also. Bagged himself one rank in veterancy. Has killed so far about 16k. Rank up again at 20k. Is he going to push further forward? No, doesn't want to throw this away. Donate mass needlessly to his opponents. I applaud that decision. Main objective completed. This takes the pressure off this whole area. Look at that consolidation of troops. That is a lot of Percivals though. Failer not failing at pumping out units, not failing at ecoing either. He is chip leader on mass production at 566 mass per tick. Highly respectable. We did see him working on a RAS earlier. Who is faring least well? Well, Dominic DeCoco on Team 2 is pulling in a very meager 166, and then we've got a couple of 170s on Team 1 for Wednesday and Magretti. Still neck and neck, 1.7k pretty much a piece. Ever so slight advantage for Team 1, I think. But in total mass accrued, they're actually down some 50,000 mass. But whilst that sounds a lot, we are half an hour into a 6v6 game on a 20k map. 50k can be a lot, but it's a lot less when it's 1.25 million versus 1.2 million. Another airdrop inbound, this time with 3 Harbingers. Make landfall. Luminar takes fire but gets away. Exactly what I said they should be concerned about. They are, so they move in to cut any potential run-by here and threaten all of this infrastructure, which is paying dividends right now, of course, for Phaler. We've said that whopping mass total, which has risen again, now up to 620 mass per tick. Instead of trying to push up in this direction, it looks like Deathlock is moving to challenge the western base now. However, new Fat Boy inbound. Wow, the amount of firepower that Phaler is bringing to the battlefield. 59 Percivals, mass cost of 70,000, and the Fat Boy moving us as well. But we have got a GC that's turned up on the scene for Insidious Noob. The Monkey Lord has repped up somewhat. It's up to 15k now, and is moving in to intercept some of those bricks, or Percival, sorry. Apologies if the game sounds has been a bit loud. I have just scaled them back. Hopefully it hasn't obscured everything I've said so far in this game. Just knock it back ever so slightly. Others in the comment section below if that was a mistake, or if altering it was a mistake. Always open to criticism. Fat Boy coming in from another position now. The amount of gear that Phaler is bringing. He is now engaging from multiple directions, and just when it looked like he'd been put on the run on the back foot with the loss of this fire base, he says, nope, you will remain contained down here, thank you very much. Deathlock did move against this position, but there are too many defending bricks, plus that Fat Boy. That might get it done, though. LCR turning up with the megalith, and didn't this game just escalate very, very quickly indeed? It was just like experimental city, go! Suddenly everybody was wielding them. GC with the Hoover hands, 10 kills to its name so far. Only 42,000 hit points left. Fat Boy crossfire landing on the scene. The amount of Percivals, though, that have been taken out, this has been very effective defense from Team 2. Oh my word, and if Thota forces the Megalith to turn around, and then a wave of strats over the top from Wednesday, but they're not going to get a second run. Nice defensive response from It's Not Me, however, gets himself into a bad engage with Cenarium as a result. Looks like Cenarium has the numerical advantage as well, and in comes a massive wave of Restorers right over the top. Just add extra AA firepower to the scene. The GC goes down, the Athota's still alive, which might mean this little forward fire base is kaput, so you could end up losing both of these defensive linchpins for each team. All the bases in the center getting wiped out. Ross boys with a solid number of bricks pushing through the center and then wheeling left. How are they going to try and make a maneuver down in this direction again? Ooh, what's gone over there? That wasn't a base launch nuke. That must be a Billy nuke from somewhere. There's a UEFer, and yes, he has the Billy upgrade. Dominic launching tactical nukes, and that will change the dynamics somewhat. Down goes one of the fatties. Another one continuing to move northeasterly, trying to vacate the area. Oh, lovely little run by as well, though, from Insidious Noob. And that now puts all of these mass points in danger. Certainly these ones over here. Going to want to keep on the move away from that fat boy as best as possible. Scenarium might be moving to counter with these gunships. Failer and Wednesday also moving transports full of ground units up to the top right hand corner to try and protect. Whether or not they'll get there in time or not, I don't know. 4 T2 mass points in jeopardy here. They do arrive on the scene. Percival's along with strap bombers. This should be an adequate defense. That is a wonderful, wonderful reinforcement. 1 T2 mechs down. Oh, collateral damage. Friendly fire takes out another one. Oh, and so 3 out of 4 is not bad. That was worth it. GC's homing in on the fat boy. The shields collapse immediately. However, they have nothing to shoot back against this horde of restorers except these ASFs. They are lurking down here for It's Not Me. Big old push on the ground in the west also. Secondary layer of defenses about to get wiped. Yeah, they're not holding that. No way, no how. Second GC finished off almost in the same vein as the first. There is the aerial response. Perhaps a smidge too late. Where are the ASS for Scenarium? So It's Not Me looking dominant in the air right now and has caught most of these gunships napping. We have a single production wave of air superiority fighters in for Scenarium. That's enough just to persuade It's Not Me to leave. That was an interesting trade. This is very even, this game right now. Team 2 are developing a little bit of an eco advantage though. 2.3k to 2k in terms of generative mass. And they are up some 50,000 mass still. Is that the same? I can't remember whether it was 50,000 mass in favour of Team 1 or Team 2, but if so, totals haven't moved at all. Excuse me. Wednesday, my dudes, completes an experimental, and it's a GC. Failer continues to increase his mass production. He's almost breaking the 800 threshold now. It's 782-ish. That's with him being down a couple of mexes up here too. Mass points, or mass storage being added to the mass points. That's interesting development over here. Insidious Noob doing a great job with this Colossus spam. Slowly making some progress, but it's continuously kind of getting stopped in this sort of area. He is pushing up, but he's pushing up slowly. However, at the moment, not a lot in place to counter all this. There is a megalith in for LCR, which is trying to come and rescue the situation. Looks like it's making a beeline for the Athota. The Athota, which is probably going to finish off this position down here, which is another 4 mexes, all of which are at T3. Team 2 definitely won't want to lose those if at all possible. Strap bombers out for It's Not Me. target the fat boy. The shield's down. Will be easy pickings. Another Billy nuke. And that was a big old horde of Percivals right there. We saw it just a moment ago. I didn't allude to it, but I'm sure you would have seen it. And now, there's just 5 of them. Ouch. Let's have a look at kills for Dominic. Only 21 so far. It surprises me, but in terms of mass killed, it's been enough to rank him up to a fully 5-star commander. With a full 25,700 mass killed off. Speaking of killed off, Thota does destroy this base. Probably not going to make it out of the area thanks to all of the air assets from Team 2, which are giving him a ruddy kicking right now. Combinations of Corsairs and Strats. Now, down it goes. Still, objectives more or less fulfilled. Look at the complete wipe of this area. Interesting decision from Wednesday, bringing in some fighters there. I wonder if that's a misclick. Fortunately, we don't have air control, but I can get them. Get what, I wonder? Failer floating a lot of mass. Any spare mass, Failer? You have 27,000 mass. How can they see that? Do you speak English? He says. Do you speak English? Why are you not giving me funds? I should go to the bank and try that. It's hilarious to me. I don't know why. Why are you not automatically giving me your stuff? Novak centers. Well, this will be the answer. He's got a lot of expensive, high-value weaponry planned. It's interesting that he hasn't. He's got all of this mass that he's been floating, but he hasn't decided to build a quantum gateway at any point yet. He would have done that some time ago and just kept that running. But those Novak satellite centers could become a problem if he's able to get all of those online. Gosh, look at the insane hoover-handage going on. So many Percivals scoopersumed. Team 2 arresting control of this region now from Team 1. Thota's not going to make it. He's not going to make it. Sidious New doing a bang-up job over on this right-hand side. I like the inclusion of that Soothsayer too. Look at that solid field of view, although it's collapsing at the moment, presumably because it's been destroyed. There it goes. It was good. I liked it initially. Trio of fat boys making life very difficult over here. Team 2 light on artillery by comparison. I will bomb fatties, says it's not me. It is not very 2024 of you, sir. Going for the rear one first. Oh no! Splitting fire perfectly. Almost perfectly. Getting 2 out of the 3 in the first bombing run. There are tons of lightning tanks on the scene. Oh, and a Billy nuke in for good measure. Just as the GCs come in. This has been a perfectly coordinated attack. GCs are pretty badly damaged. One in the center down to 47,000 hit points. Going to continue to press here. That's a very large bank of Ravagers, though. Yeesh. Do not want. Unlikely they're going to make progress here. They probably just want to get that fat boy out of commission, if at all possible. Another fresh GC coming up from the south, though. Now, if they could whack that line of Ravagers, that would be good. Southern GC picks off one of them. They are currently unshielded, but there's a second bank of Ravagers going up behind, and another one in the east, too. Baylor determined to hold on to this position if at all possible. Meanwhile, over in the west, some forward momentum initially from LCR. Probing attack forward. Restorers managed to keep them at bay, but an Awasar being brought in by Ross Boys. Oh, it's a lovely payload. Right in the center. Takes some damage off for the initial hit, but then wait for the secondary explosion. Suddenly, only 5 bricks remain, but we have a nuke out, and it's from Wednesday at the top left-hand corner. There's the launcher. How far off the Novak satellite are we? Well, not too far. 7,400 HP. Now, where's that nuke going? It's going high. That's a support commander if it's going there. Oh, is it going deep? Is it going to get Dominic? Dominic's on the move. That's what he's scared of. Kidding me? There's no SMD up here? Oh, no. Is Dominic going to go down? Oh, he's lucky. He is really lucky. Just outside the blast radius. Wednesday thrilled that that managed to connect. And now Dominic finds himself sans one base, almost. Has got some infrastructure down here. Crucially, 4 T3 mexes still operational. Even more crucially, Com still alive. Avasar, 36 kills. Will this be the next target? Deathlock with a whole bunch of vulnerable spam. That's a nice bomb. There's a bunch of dead Percys. Could have been just a little bit further to the north. One of the lead ones would have worked better. Restorers brought in. Add some more damage. Next payload away. Surely the end of that little threat. Well, support commanders is still a problem. Wednesday's got a GC standing guard, so it's fine. But little by little, Failer, despite having all of this eco at his disposal, slowly kind of getting pushed back, or at least being held where he is, has managed to amass another bunch of fat boys. He is churning them out. But up here at the top left, Team 2 making progress bit by bit. Another big engage, and it looks like another big win for It's Not Me, who is absolutely dominant in the air. Needs to finish off this gaggle of gunships now. No! Kill them! Kill them all! What are you doing? I want to let him off the hook. There's the attack command. Nice bit of play there. Now he needs to withdraw. Why did you not make SAMs, says Scenarium. Ross Boy says, I did. That's what I did. Scenarium, all very hypercritical of everybody else's play so far. He is one of the higher rated players on Team 1. And another trio, another quintet of Colossi and a Megalith moving up on this position, and another Billy Nuke. I'm not sure how much longer Failer can hold out up here. The Fat Boys are great, but he's not got no frontline presence holding all of these Mega Bots and Assault Bots at bay. There's just too many hit points coming at him. Tactical missile defense defends the base against the Billy Nuke, but I'm not sure it's going to make any difference. Megalith continues to chase down the Fat Boy. He will win that engagement comfortably. There's another one over to the west. Now, will the destruction of this central base be enough for Team 2 to claim this northeastern quadrant? hard for Scenarium to support with gunships when It's Not Me has the initiative in the air. Eco-wise, Team 2 comfortably ahead now by a large margin. Some 400,000... I'm talking about millions, Guile. Some 400 mass. The brain saw the K, so it's like, add K. Some 400 mass per tick. Although that advantage cuts down to 200 or 300 whilst we've been speaking, but still sizable advantage in terms of eco, and in terms of total mass accrued, they are up a good, what is that, 70,000 mass, 80,000, something like that, that sort of region. Tactical missile upgrade on the way for Magretti. Now, is he going to go Billy Nuke? It's the only real reason I could expect you to be going for attack missile upgrade at this stage with your commander in this position. I think Dominic has demonstrated it's a useful defensive and offensive measure down here. And yes, look at this now. So, new wave of Harbingers and complete power vacuum in this area.
Strategic launch
Team
detected.
2 looks set to take this whole quadrant. And those GCs that wiped out that base, still very much alive, and now bearing down on that fat boy. Next nuke out from Wednesday. Team 2 know of the existence of the nuke. Surely must have some S&D ready at this stage. Oh, we've got some artillery going base to base. We'll see who's firing that in just a moment. It looks like it's Aeon, so it's probably Scenarium or maybe Wednesday. That does connect right in the anus of Count Swagula's old base. Excuse me. Throat problems lingering. I am on a referral for NHS ENT inspection of whatever's going on back there, but it's been about 6 months and I'm still waiting. They keep sending me messages to say, do you still want this appointment? Yeah, I do. Nothing's changed. Just give me an appointment. Look at the numbers of Percy's building for Deathlock over in the west. How many is that? Well, there's 48 on the field in this little area. Got about 33. It's a DPS of 11,000 if you can bring them all to bear at the same time. But look at this. Harbingers wiping out everything. This little set of spam factories up here getting picked off. Ooh, Hawasar brought in to defend. He should hold on to a couple of these Harbingers, which should be all he needs, maybe, to finish off these factories. Arrival of the Hawasar doesn't provoke a response. Wow, Scenarium has amassed a decent number of fighters. But I think there's still an advantage there for It's Not Me, who has a massive quantity of strap bombers. Is he looking to snipe somebody with those? Stealth on those bad boys is activated. But it's not enough. They can see them just fine. So, is it coming out from over here? That is the emissary. Big old air battle. GCs for Insidious Noob, almost reaching the main base area of Team 1 now. Start to get the feeling that this is Team 2's game to lose. There it is. There's the emissary. How are we doing on those Novak satellites? Well, we're up to 3 now. And that can be a deadly addition. You get enough of those going, get to a critical mass, they start punching through shield coverage. are those satellites at the present time? That is the question. Are they all really sitting over here? Well, there's one that hasn't yet been given an offensive task. Okay, so there they are. Currently picking off P-gens around Team 2's bases. Got some casualties here and here. Disruptors under construction. Is that a support commander going pop? I think it is. Still those GCs plow on. God, why is my mouse working? Lead Colossus about to go down too, but there's still about 80,000 hit points on that one to the rear. Lots of point defense though, lots of artillery. GCs coming up from behind from Scenarium to the end of that threat, and this of course is a ton of mass which is just being dumped on the ground up here. Look at that. 70,000 mass, 38,000, 56,000, 31,000, 31,000 over here. Compare that with down here. All of this is in scoopable range for Team 1. At the moment, Team 1 are behind almost 200,000 mass.
Strategic launch detected.
But they've got more than that in their potential operational area. However, there is some expansion coming out from Insidious Nuke further north. Two fat boys trying to act as a linchpin over here to hold this area. Fortunately, there are no GCs immediately on them. I swear I heard nukes. Oh, it's a nuke going in the opposite direction. And one down there too. So that was a nuke on positions in the bottom left. That one seemed to just hit a pile of GC. Are Team 2 concerned about the amount of mass down here, I wonder? Trying to destroy some of it. Nukes go burr. Bizarre for Scenarium. Team 1. What has happened to their eco? They must be power locked. Failer, who was pulling in 800 almost, is down to 426. Of course, he's lost all of these mass points, which he did have. So that has dramatically impacted Team 1's eco. Insidious Noob, meanwhile, is pulling in almost 800. It's Not Me's pulling in 500. 600 for LCR. Yeah, Team 2 looking really dominant right now on eco. Scarily so.
Strategic launch detected.
There's another one of the nuke launchers. Ooh, that's where the latest nuke is going. So Insidious Noob, who's working on a Scathis right by said Scathis with the comm. The nuke's actually a little far to the left. I don't know if it's going to pick up the Scathis, but it will certainly kill the comm if the comm doesn't move. And I don't know what their SMD coverage is like. I can only presume it's pretty good if Insidious Noob is not moving his comm after he hears that nuke siren. Oh my god. No way! So I'm guessing it dropped short to avoid any nuke defense that might be in here. I don't know. But that is potentially game-changing. Insidious Noob congratulates his opponent. I don't know why he didn't move. Always move, surely, just as a matter of course. Wow. I wonder if I can see any SMD in here. Maybe there was SMD and this quartet of Novak satellites took it out. Well, there's one. If I can hit the right person, that would be good. And you can see why it landed there. There's the defensive boundary. That's where he was standing. That's where the nuke hit. absolutely pinpoint
Strategic
perfect
launch detected.
from Wednesday. I'm guessing that was out from him. Might have been Cenarian. Absolutely huge. Another nuke heading in the opposite direction right now from LCR. But they really need to deal with these satellites. A couple more of these boys, and they are not going to be able to repel the firepower. Those base shields will start to collapse, and the base become vulnerable. Strap bombers circling overhead, getting themselves shot down. Total mass killed. Team 1 have been doing a lot better, actually. 2.79, 2.8 million versus 2.28. Kill-loss ratio massively favouring Team 1, but then Team 2 have been on the offensive for a little while here. Now let's have a look at the reclaim figures. Just look at that. It's almost 2-1. All of the big numbers in here have gone. Most of the big numbers over here have gone. Look at all of the tons and tons of engineers in the area for Failer, who has pulled in 624,000 mass in reclaim across this game. Look at that. 2.19 million in terms of total mass. Next highest player, It's Not Me on 1.35. I suppose Insidious Noob posthumously had 1.5 million. Team 1 holding it together despite the lower income. Actually not that far behind in terms of total mass accrued. They will have gotten a huge mass boost now. Can they use it to expand? Oh man. Antonio Magretti adds another satellite to the pile from Team 1. So that's now 6 satellites bombarding these bases. Team 2 valiantly trying to boost these shields with rover drones and keep the defenses running. Just want to have a look. So there's a disruptor there. Is that the only one? There's another one being built there. And there's another one for LCR. Well, he's got 2, so that's 3 artillery pieces now for Team 2. LCR floating a full bar of mass. Needs to get spending that ASAP. In fact, It's Not Me is also floating a full bar. They need to get producing stuff, and right quick, because the ground game's not looking so hot right now, considering how well they were doing a moment ago. But that was, of course, before Insidious Noob got himself ganked. There's a word from the past. When was the last time you heard anybody use the word ganked? Is going back some way, showing my age there. I don't know, I don't play games where that would be used anymore. I want to play those sorts of games. We used to use it in EVE Online. Ganging up on people in low sec space. Another tactical Billy Nuke out, going after some of these fat boys. Shield coverage should keep them safe, but some of these Percys might suffer. Actually, those ones being covered very nicely by the fat boy. We will not go quietly into the night, says Ross Boy to his allies. Cenarian sending mass to Ross Boy. What's he building? Ooh.
Strategic
Hello.
launch detected.
Yeah, well, Team 2 cannot allow that to complete. Yolana O under construction for Ross Boy. Cenarian funneling him resources to do that. Oh, but would you look at this? So, we did have a couple of, or 3 in fact, Novak satellites from Team 2. And couple that with the artillery fire, which is constant and growing, and they have completely wiped out the Novak's threat. Every single satellite belonging to Phaler is now gone. Ouch. Oh dear me. That is less than ideal. Party in the center for Phaler. We do have the 2 Novak satellites down here for Magretti, but this is interesting now. So ground advantage suddenly switched to Team 1. Air advantage gone. It looks like maybe Scenarium has more fighters now. It's a huge pile. 368 versus It's Not Me's 290. So advantage now with Team 1 there also. They've got a Yolana O brewing, which Team 2 must not allow to complete. The only position where Team 2 are looking stronger right now is the artillery that's just torn through all of the Novak satellites in the north. Anytime it looks like they're going to get somewhere on the ground for Team 2, Wednesday nukes the forces. Perfect nuke there once again. All the bricks down, along with the megalith. All the forces from Team 1 more or less safe. Such a pretty explosion. He's very happy with himself. Rightly so. Hoover face, laser face, Hoover arms. In full glory. Another Billy nuke out at these fat boys. Some of these Novak centers now operating defensively because look at the threat brewing on the doorstep. Oh man, is this going to be it? Billy nuke connects. We peer through the nuclear fire, but the shields are still intact. They just don't pack the punch they need to. Where are the defenses? Ethota getting hit from the side by the Monkey Lord, which can then possibly engage these Percivals, although we've seen Percivals shred the Monkey Lord so many times. New GC, that will be very welcome on the front line. And a big air engagement brewing. Scenarium thinks he's got the numbers to wipe out the opposing air force, and he's probably right. It's Not Me says if we're going to fight, we're going to do it over our airspace. Thank you. Battle ensues. Is Scenarium going to stick it out? I think it would be a catastrophe to back out now. As the fight unfolds, the inevitable conclusion is drawn. A man with 100 extra planes wins out comfortably. Still has 318 remaining after wiping out It's Not Me's Air Force completely. Have Team 2 even recognized the threat? Yes, they have. It's been pinged. Novak satellites moving in that direction. Brand new Awasar. Not quite brand new. 2-star, 3-star even. Was that the one from before? Has that been landed and it's repped up? That's the one that's been alive all this game? I think it must be. Scenarium just hanging about with his fighters as they provide cover for this Tsar, which has made its way right the way atop LCR's base. Oh my god, why would you stop firing there? The Disruptor was down to 2,000 hit points. I think he thought it was already dead. He's moved it on. The Awasar is brought to bear also. What are they going for? Why did they not finish that off? You had the arties. Tsar gets shot down and it's not even centrally placed. They're going after the anti-nukes, I think. Don't know why. Did something else get it? He was firing right on top of that one. And there are still 2 disruptors remaining. Awasar comes in, does manage to get the payload off. Drops it short over there, and it then collides with the same set of structures, but somehow it doesn't go off and chain react. But look at this. Southwestern quadrant defeated. Scenarium Little group of bricks finishing off vital resourcing options. Goodness gracious me. So still a 5v4. We are 1 hour, 4 minutes into this game. Team 1 comfortably ahead in eco. They have the initiative on the ground. They have map control. They have air control. They are working on a game ender, which is very nearly finished. Some 11,300 hit points done out of 12,000. But still a decent amount of artillery moving northwesterly. What a turnaround this has been, though, for Team 1, who really looked like they were losing out. That nuke of Wednesdays, taking out Insidious Noob. The importance of that cannot be overstated. Up to 11,400 now. Artillery shells raining down. They must take this out. Shielding looking light now. Some shells starting to land. Power facilities on the edge exposed. The odd shield gen getting taken out. Engineers rushing in to try and finish it. What they need is more shielding more than anything. Exposed power plant on the edge just getting nicked there by a Novax. I want to try and keep an eye on what's happening down here, but it is hard. I'm going to go to split screen because I have to see how this is going to go. It's absolutely vitally important, but I don't want to miss anything happening in the bottom right either. Another Novax satellite from Dominic heading towards Team 1's territory. Yolana O, vulnerable as the shields collapse. I was just going to say he was on 11,700 hit points. Shields ping back on, but not before it's taken a ton of damage. We now don't have an exact read on the hit pointage, but you can see how close it is to being complete. That's the progress line. Will they manage to maintain the integrity of the shielding and at least get a few of these off? If they can connect one of these, that will shut this game up well and truly. It's not me in the bottom right hand corner with a fresh wave of air superiority fighters just trying to engage a little bit with that group of gunships. Artillery shells still raining down. Oh no, it's not me. Doesn't like the way this game is going. It's gone all Cybrin on us, starting teleporter. Does that mean he's already got laser? Usually people get laser first. Yep, so got the laser. So he's looking to tele-snipe. This is so nearly complete, surely. It is complete, I think. Yolana O is complete and ready to fire. Well, not ready to fire, sorry.
Strategic
Needs to build the missile
detected.
first, but that should be quick. I guess I've got the eco. It's not building very quickly. Another nuke out from somewhere. It's from LCR. It's heading... Is it heading up to be used defensively? Yes, it is. Oh, would you look at that, nullifying the majority of that inbound force. There is a lot coming down on the ground, though. A lot of Percival's still alive. GC's defending. I can't believe this Yolana O is still alive. Oh, I might have spoken too soon. Look, it is building a missile. 1 quarter done on the first nuke. Shield pings back on. 1 quarter left on its HP. This is not good for my nerves. I am 100% impartial, I promise, but there's something about seeing the super nukes go off. I just like it. Half done on that missile. Lots of support commanders brought south from Wednesday to try and bolster the shielding, but I don't think it's going to be enough. Another wave of artillery will do it. No, they don't even need it. The Novak satellites have got it. Wow. That is huge. Wednesday upset, so is Scenarium. They tried valiantly to keep that. We've now got 4 Novak satellites to add to all of the inbound artillery. Suddenly Team 2 are looking pretty devastating on the standoff side of things. And now we've also got a completed tele-sniper ready to go. Actually, not quite ready. He's swapping out whatever he had before. I can't remember now. For a gun upgrade. Now, who's vulnerable? Well, attack ping going down over here. Failer and Wednesday. But there is a ton of point defense in this area. You could look at it at first and go, oh, there's only a few T1s there. No, look at all the T2s right by these comms. So actually very well defended. Okay, more than 3. What are they discussing? They have 3 SMDs. Oh, actually more than 3. Just need enough strats, says Ross Boys. It's always good to see what they're thinking. But the assault on this base really hasn't let up, and Team 2 completely confined to this tiny... It's not even a quarter of the map. They're on about 15% of the map down here. Maybe 18% of the map or something. Not even that. Tiny, tiny portion. Everything else ostensibly under Team 1's control.
Strategic launch detected.
Did I say it was Team 2's game to lose earlier? Well, now it's Team 1. Another nuke out. But look at all of the ordnance that's landed. Oh, no! All of the T2 point defense has been destroyed. The nuke launcher has somehow survived. Nuke launcher with only 66 kills to its name, which is intriguing. I thought it wreaked more havoc than that. Certainly was a game changer, taking out Insidious Noob. Will this one get shot down? Yes, it will. Now, he's completed his upgrade. He's ready to go. The point defense has been taken out by the base-to-base artillery. There are Novak satellites up there. I don't know why they go. Ooh, exciting. Now, can we see an exit point? Oh, where's my dudes has moved. Oh, that's a good spot. Ross Boys has spotted that the commander is... I would never have picked that up. That is laser vision right there. So they know the comm is teleporting. Failer needs to get a move on because that's where it's headed. It's quite far out, though. I would have gone a little bit closer there. Failer clearly the target. He exits the teleporter, engages Failer. Failer moves outside the shield, which will buy him a bit of time. Shield then collapses. He had personal shield as well, but look at that. He's now out of range. There aren't Novak satellites ready to counter, but strats are moving in too. It's Not Me is trying to evac. Then he cancels it because he sees the strat bomb as he goes down. Ah! Multi-kill. Is it a multi-kill now? Though no. It's a 1-for-1. So Failer down. It's Not Me down. It's now a 4v3. But still, we have this insane standoff problem as far as Team 1 are concerned. They're struggling to break this corner with everything they're throwing at it from the ground and the air. And at the moment, they're being outgunned by satellites and artillery. Scenarium has taken over all of Failer's stuff. He's now pulling in a whopping 1.1k. In terms of team totals, Team 1 are up some 500 mass per tick. And they're up nearly 300,000 mass over the course of the game. Strat bombers being brought in now by Wednesday. Are they going after the SMDs? Oh, well, that was not nice at all. Was that a misclick? Wait, your strats! That's looking very much like a misclick. To me, naughty strats. That sets them back just a smidge. Just wow. Oh, look at this though. Scenarium, all of his air production facilities have been taken out because of the artillery raining down on him. What's happening down here? Not a great deal. Scenarium dramatically running out of space right now. Has a huge quantity of engineers beefing up that shield gen. Oh, but it goes down. And now suddenly he looks vulnerable. He's going to have to make a move to local shield coverage. All the engineers go pop around him. Friendly engineers for Wednesday start on a new shield gen. Don't block yourself in. Oh, gets himself inside the shield just. This is risky. If I were him, I would carry on walking all the way over here where all these shield gens are. Don't stop. Just keep going. Why would you stop? Look at this! I saw TML and I looked. Aeon, tactical missile defense, quick! A saucy little stealth base with tac missile batteries put up for Magretti. What a fantastic play that is. They're going after LCR.
Strategic launch detected.
But I don't think he's paying attention. TML here, he says. Move your comm. And he's not watching chat. He's not watching chat. He's not moving his comm. The shields have collapsed. He thinks he's safe, I guess, because he's cloaked. But they can see you. They've obviously scouted you. And now you are done. Oh, that's painful. What a wonderful play this was. Magretti. Absolutely fabulous, but let's check back in on Scenarium.
Strategic launch detected.
Who's still struggling with all these Novak satellites. He's having fantastic assistance from Wednesday and all of his engineers. But soon they're going to get popped. And now he's vulnerable once again. Why wouldn't you have moved your comm in here? I don't get it. He had all the time in the world. Was he happy to keep them away from all of the base infrastructure? Was that it? Oh, man. And Scenarium goes down, so now it's a 3v2. But still the attack missiles are raining down, and would you look at that? This firebase, it might be about to get wiped now by support commanders. But they really have done a stellar job. Look at the destruction of the artillery facilities. Wait, was that not GG? I mean, it sort of is. They do still have all these Novak satellites to be concerned with. Magretti sitting under reasonably good shield coverage by the looks of things. And he doesn't have all of that artillery to worry about now. Looks like maybe there's one disruptor or something somewhere in here. Is that it? Is that their only one? Maybe two. Two shells piece. So there are 2 artillery pieces left. And some 2, 4, 6 Novak satellites. That is a lot. So Magretti now needs to be a little careful. Well aware of the threat. Rover drones assisting the T3 shield gen. He's building more T2s with his commander. Switch up there. Switcheroo to go after some of the clink hammers as the shield collapses around them. I can't believe what I'm seeing here. Look at this. We've got pushback on the ground. A Team 2 actually in a position to start taking the bottom left quadrant again. Surely not. Oh, this could be good. Vulnerable Novak satellites will mean the death of that Awasar. But he's picked up how many? He's picked up 1 and damaged another, and the shielding is down crucially. so Magretti satellites can finish those off. Oh, they're all exposed. The shield gens are down. Support commanders are in place trying to get a new shield gen up to cover them. But now only 2 Novak centers remain. Suddenly the pressure dramatically eases over Magretti's comm, and surely that will be game now. Complete air dominance over here. And is that a comm kill? That's a comm kill. Interesting. Killed by Ross boys. By what? Was that strat bombers? Or was that artillery? Hasn't got any artillery. Everything's under teammate control. And that is surely game. Last vestiges of Team 2's ground forces lurking in the center, Deathlock in command, but yeah, it definitely was an interesting game. Crazy epic. We're at 1 hour, 18 minutes, and only now does it look like we really have a conclusion. There was a wonderful fight back underway from Team 2 there. I just wonder if Insidious Noob hadn't gotten himself nuked. Would it have been different? Maybe. Should have had more arty, says Deathlock. I mean, you guys were doing good on the arty front. But Magretti, with that stealth play, wow. Because that really took the pressure off. If he hadn't been able to take out LCR, if he hadn't been able to take out those artillery installations,
Strategic launch detected.
Magretti's base might have been taken down. Oh my god, where's the shielding gone? Get your power back! The satellites are all dead though, so it's just artillery he has to worry about. That'll still make a mess of you, make no mistake. Magretti's like, oh my god! The Ukrainians have invaded, the power's gone out. Make a run for it! Not that I'm equating that lovely chap with Putin. Perfectly placed nuke, almost. Philip's going to bag that fat boy as well. Look at this mass mech marine spam coming out from Wednesday now. 200 of the puppies on the field. One operational Novak center, still 975 hit points. But he's not doing anything with it. Deathlock overwhelmed now, as full operational control lies with him. It's always difficult when you're inheriting someone else's stuff too. There it goes. Nuke now here, says LCR. So he must have a nuke ready to go. But yeah, there are the 3 commanders. If he was going to pull off some kind of miracle, which I think is unlikely at this point. But what a fantastic ebb and flow this game has had. Team 1 with the aggressive play down here to the southwest initially. Totally in the ascendancy. Had the great start. Team 2 wrestle them out of there. Push back. Out-eco them. Push them right back here. Had air control for the longest time. And then, despite losing the top right-hand corner briefly, Team 1 managed to reassert themselves. So many ebbs and flows amongst those as well. Fantastic, fantastic game. But the nuke does land in Magretti's base, tearing the veritable heart out of it. What's left really is defensive structures around the edge and 1 Novak satellite. Team 1 now double Team 2's eco. 3 artillery pieces and a Novaks peppering these bases. Nearly got a new disruptor up. Trying to keep this one online too. but didn't succeed. End this misery, says Scenarium. You have enough. Enough strats, maybe? Right. Enable stealth. You have stealth. Use it. You never use it. I mean, they used it earlier, but... Converging now on the commander. Deathlock actually moving outside the shield. I think he's had enough of this one. In they come. Payloads away. Boom, baby! 1 hour, 23 minutes, almost on the dot. And what a game that was. Fantastic ebb and flow. Now that is the sort of game I like, ladies and gentlemen. If you're sitting on a replay like that, do send it my way. I cannot get enough of those longer, drawn-out games. Like, everyone knows I love a comeback, but the only thing I love more than a comeback is a comeback from a comeback, or a comeback from a comeback where somebody's picked up their comm and dropped it in someone else's base. None of this teleporting business. No, we want a comm drop, base building, aggressive, that kind of stuff. Anything like that is sure to get you casted. So send them my way if you're sitting on replays like that, ladies and gentlemen. If you want more content, if I'm not producing enough these days, and that is a valid criticism, there's plenty more on the Patreon channel. If you're not already a subscriber, it's a mere $1 a month at its lowest tier that gets you access to basically everything anyway. And there's some 117 premium content, ad-free casts there ready for your viewing pleasure. And of course, you get to harass me on Discord as well, which is always worth it. But anyway, for all of your attention today, thank you so much for watching. Until next time, stay well and stay safe. Until next time, this is Guile signing out.